it's bull or bear, I don't care. It's quite a rough ride, just like life. But I'm kind of patient, 'cause only time will tell. It's gonna go up, so you better stay calm. Grow your coins, you gotta grow your coins. Grow your coins, grow your coins. Grow your coins, you gotta grow your coins. Grow your coins, grow your coins. Grow your coins, you gotta grow your coins. Grow your coins, grow your coins. Grow your coins, you gotta grow your coins.
What's up, everybody? It's the Crypto Crow. About 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This music is getting old, bro. Suck it up. The song is great. I'm crowing the shit out of them coins. Oh my goodness. I got some kick-ass news yesterday that just made my day, but I don't think I can announce it yet. But soon, soon. There's so much stuff going on. I've been ramping up. I'm getting all the press contacts and media contacts and all kinds of stuff together for Crow's Nest. Getting ready to launch. We're getting ready to launch the private. Well, it's not necessarily going to be. Well, it is private because it's going to be invite. But basically the test version of the test platform, and then we may very well be launching Crow's Nest X here in the next couple weeks, 2-3 weeks. And I got some, well, I guess I can say there is a very good chance at this point that we will be able to accept credit cards. So, but we have the ability to do that now, and which is great. But there's still some other things that I'm going to look into before I confirm that 100%. And it'll all be a part. All kinds of stuff is going to be a part of a big announcement that's coming soon. So I will let everybody know. But one of the first things I wanted to discuss a bit today was the fact that this guy, or girl, whoever it was, Crypto Whale dumped 6,500 Bitcoin on Binance, triggers a flash crash. A Bitcoin whale triggered a flash crash in the price of Bitcoin on the leading cryptocurrency exchange, Binance. The founder of Nuggets News, Alex Saunders, tracked the big sell order of 6,500 Bitcoin at $12,100 in real time on Twitter. The order, worth about $78.6 million, was quickly eaten away by bullish traders buying the dip. I kind of wonder, is this the guy that originally bought like 7,500 Bitcoin in an hour or two over multiple exchanges? Who's now selling it and taking profit. The thing is that when whoever this was, listed these Bitcoin, they were like gobbled up quick. And the price, as you can see, we're back at, so it looks like it tipped down a little bit. And keep in mind, even though this happened on Binance, the majority of exchanges are all kind of working on like this liquidity pipeline type thing, so that the price action across all different exchanges are in a bit of concert with each other. So even though it happened on Binance, it's not like it just affected Binance. That price action would have affected multiple exchanges, and you see the dip. But it recovered so quickly that I find that very interesting, actually, because they very well could have just dumped the price and it could have stayed, but there's so much buying pressure at those price levels at 12,100, and it bounced right back up to 12,400. So I found that pretty interesting. And a lot of people are saying, we're headed to 16,000 now. If you believe a lot of the different analysts out there. And I guess that's possible. I've just really been enjoying this this trend, man. I mean, there's a pretty solid trend that's been happening. Now, I don't have it all charted out here. I look at what a lot of other technical analysts do, and if I wanted to be fake about everything, I could sit here and draw out the same shit and act like I know what the hell I'm talking about, but I'm not going to mislead you guys that way. I talk about a lot of this stuff, but a lot of these guys are drawing this pennant. And basically, which I do see, you see the consolidation, and that consolidation is kind of it's closing in more and more. And, well, I guess I will do this, but I'll do this based off of what I kind of know. So if you were to just draw a line like this and draw another one from up here, I'm pretty sure this is basically what they're trying to say here. So you have this kind of pennant forming, and you see like the swings start really wide and they start to narrow in. And then at this point, it's like, okay, it's like a deciding factor. Are we going to break down or are we going to break up? And that's kind of what we're waiting to see. A lot of people are anticipating, and this whale dumping his Bitcoin at that price, and the fact that it was gobbled up so quickly kind of tells me that I would almost hazard a guess to say that we're likely to break up, because there are a lot of people buying. There are a lot of people buying Bitcoin. And once, if you think about all the buy orders that were sitting around 12,100, and how quickly that snatched up, what was, I think whoever it was listed like 6,500 Bitcoin, but I think they still have like 1,200 left or something. Hold on, I think that article actually says. Well, I thought it did. I thought there were a percentage of them that he still had, but I'm assuming those are probably gone by now anyway, so it doesn't much matter. But it just tells me that the buy pressure is there, and it's likely we might break up out of this. I think the question is, this is all kind of sentiment indicator. I mean, when you look at the price action and where it's going, you look at this pennant and the consolidation kind of forming. It's like a bubbling cauldron, right? I kind of made this analogy this afternoon in a writing. It's like a bubbling cauldron. Once this gets to this point where it's going to have to break up or down either way, I think that the buying pressure that currently exists in the Bitcoin market is going to send it up higher. It's a matter of people believing that the price is destined to go higher than it is, thus creating more buying pressure than there is sells. There is selling pressure. And I think that that's building. So, yeah, I thought that was interesting. I mean, a guy dumped 6,500 Bitcoin, or a gal dumped 6,500 Bitcoin and barely affects the price much. And the thing of it is that had that not happened, you figure the guy, whoever, I'm thinking it's the guy who bought the 7,500 Bitcoin from a while back. I haven't seen anybody say that, but it just makes sense. My guess is that the 1,000 Bitcoin that he's not selling, he's basically riding out as pure profit. So he dumped, how many millions of dollars. He's already made a boatload of money. Now the guy's got basically 1,000 free Bitcoin he's sitting on just by playing a swing over the course of a month. That's how some of these guys get richer, man. I mean, but my guess is that this is him. That's just my personal guess. I haven't seen anybody say that yet, but I think it's him. Otherwise, it's just a wild coincidence, and I don't really think it is. So, that being the case, a couple other things in the news that I thought were interesting. You guys know I just had JD Serafine on my channel recently, and he just sent me this article. Overstocks, T0 tokenizes upcoming Atari Fistful of Quarters movie. I don't think many people were paying attention to that interview. Like, JD's no joke, folks. Like, he's a legit Hollywood film producer. And he's working with Leo DiCaprio and their production, and they're all working on this movie together. So, the fact that I had him on the channel is actually a really big deal for you guys, even though it didn't seem like that many people seemed to really get it. But anyway, T0, the cryptocurrency wing of American retail giant Overstock, will tokenize forthcoming motion picture Atari Fistful of Quarters, according to a press release published on July 9th. Per the press release, T0 has partnered with the upcoming movie's producers to develop a token dubbed Bushnell, which will be sold by the film production and financing company Vision Tree, which is JD's company. Token owners will purportedly get shares of movie earnings and receive additional benefits, including the ability to vote on the movie's trailer and make a point of choosing the movie cast. This is some of the coolest shit I've ever seen in my lifetime, folks. And it doesn't seem like people really are. I think it's going to be a little bit before this message and what this all means. This is some pioneering shit that's going on. And it's basically, these guys are ultimately empowering a lot of people in the public to not only profit from what I think is likely going to be a very, very, very big and successful movie, kind of like a Wolf of Wall Street type thing. People are going to be able to get involved in this project, and not just financially, they're actually going to have a say in some of the things that are going on with the film. And I think that's really cool. The upcoming movie is a biopic about Nolan Bushnell, an American businessman and engineer, often cited as the father of the video game industry. Bushnell also founded computer and video game console manufacturer, the Atari Corporation. Patrick Byrne, chief executive officer of Overstock, said, "We have been looking for the team to crack the code for Hollywood and bring much needed transparency and accountability to an industry that has been historically resistant to change. This is an extremely impressive team, and we're thrilled to bring the T0 tech stack to the movie industry." Yeah, I think this is just cool stuff, guys. And this is the first kind of press release regarding this whole thing. I was trying to give everybody a jump, and nobody reached out to me saying, "Hey, I want to get involved in this movie." It's going to be your loss. I'm kidding. I don't know. I mean, look, the one thing that I know about the Hollywood film industry is that you could have the baddest movie on planet Earth, and for whatever reason, people can just decide not to care. But, from what I've seen, I have the sponsorship deck, I have the investment deck myself, and I know who they're talking to about, being in this movie, and it's going to be legit. This is not some silly little thing. Now, I've been told that I may very well be in the movie, but I'm not holding my breath. You know how Hollywood is. But we'll see. It could be a lot of fun. And keep in mind, too, though, I'm not, if people invest in this, they're not paying me. JD isn't paying me. Nobody's paying me to talk about this movie or this project at all. I'm not getting squat. But, I have offered because I think, I met JD in Daytona, like we said in the interview, and I did a segment for his HBO special that's coming out. And, I think that he's just a legit dude. He's not your typical Hollywood kind of, the type I'm talking about. He's very creative, and he cares a lot about the crypto space. And I think that's how we connected so well, because we have the same kind of, the same kind of expectations of the space and what we think is going to happen in it. And I think the guy's really setting up some pioneering stuff, and it is very much in line with what Bushnell accomplished back in the 70s. So I'm honestly looking forward to the movie more than anything else, because I love stories like this. I love stories of these maverick, these rogue types that do things their own way. We were talking about, You guys need to check out that interview. It's from last week. Go back, watch the interview I did with JD, learn about this film, learn about what's happening. And look, like you said, if you're interested in getting involved in some way, just let one of us know and I can connect you to him. And but I think this is going to be actually really fun. And it's nice to start seeing the press starting to pop off about it and let people know what's going on. But just remember, you heard it from the crow first. So when this becomes huge, you can't say I didn't tell you so. That's all I'm going to say. Let's take a look at the chat. A few hundred people in here. Let's see what everybody has to say. What's popping off? Off topic, have you watched Crown's Crypto Cave? I have not. I'm wondering if you're the person that keeps spamming me in Telegram talking about it. I see Crypto Face in chat. What's up, dude? Is there a minimum to invest? I honestly, I don't remember. I don't remember all the investment details. I'm pretty sure you have to be accredited, though. Or do you? I can't remember. I think there was even a way for non-accredited to get involved in the project, but I honestly don't remember all those details. I'm sure it's probably all in the deck. I need to read through it again. I have read through it, and it's actually pretty exciting. I think it is Johnny Depp that dumped 6,500 Bitcoin. He is typically that guy that has the patience for charting all day, enjoying the South African or French wine. Thoughts on Qdom? Pro, are you staking any coins like Ontology to get some passive income? Yeah, I am. Ontology and Neo. I got them both because I figure if one wins the fight, I still win. But it sounds like Ontology and Neo, from what I understand from private sources, are very much supporting each other. Like they're basically helping each other, which I think is actually really good. Could we get an MMA show of you versus John Kim? I love that dude, man. He's actually a really cool dude. I like him. I'd have him on. I'd love to have him on. Talk about Litecoin. But we talk about Litecoin. I don't even hold Litecoin, I'm not gonna lie, but I don't have any problem with it. But I like him, and he's a great spokesman because he's always out there hustling. And I saw that he was out there with Ben Askren recently, before he got 5-second KO'd. And I don't like that Mazeldorf or whatever the hell his damn name is. I mean, like, okay, cool. He got a 5-second knockout on Ben. Ben is a little predictable. Most wrestlers are, because that's what I always hear. Like when I was in MMA, all the wrestlers were like, I'll just shoot you. They'll just take you down. They'll grab your legs. Like, okay, you're about as predictable as like a fart after a bean dinner. Like you're not surprising anybody with that shit. And that's why I always tell everybody, like, yeah, I know you're going to try and take me down. That's why you're going to chew on a knee first. So it's just, I don't know, man. When you're that predictable, you got to look out for stuff like that. Are there old YouTube videos of your fights? I only have one. There's one on YouTube. I've shown it in old videos. There's not much to see. It was 35 seconds long, and I was like, I wasn't pretty. Fart after bean dinner. That's right. Cardano go. Cardano go. Hold up. Wait a minute. Here's the 22. Pew pew pew. Pew, pew, pew. Cardano bets on ADA's increased liquidity to attract institutional investors into the market. Cardano's goal to attract institutional investors into the market. Cardano's native coin ADA, however you want to call it, Tomata, which was initially released in 2015, came with the promise of attracting major industry players into the crypto space. However, the project is still battling the same changes that plague the crypto space. Lack of altcoin interest. For now, because I'm telling you, folks, it's going to come. When Bitcoin hits $20,000, you're going to start seeing the first major altcoin rally. I'm telling you, that's what I see happening. My crystal ball of altcoin future. Because let's face it, anybody that bought Bitcoin at the high, like if they bought it at 15, 16, 17,000 and held it while it crashed, if they're still holding on to it, they want to make money, but they are also going to know, think about it, you've got all these people who bought into Bitcoin because they saw something, right? They saw an article, they saw all of the FOMO and the hype and everything building up into the market during the last big parabolic bull run. And so everybody was chasing candles, right? And so you had a lot of people that bought it on the high. They held through the crash. And many of us, myself included, were not, if we hadn't been in the crypto market since the previous cycle, caught a lot of us off guard. Those who were a part of the previous cycle are all acting like they're Jesus because they saw this shit coming. Like, you know, whatever smoke signals, charts, or whatever, that they saw this happening. Well, a lot of those people that were holding through that bear market They're waiting to make some profit. And once Bitcoin gets back to where they were, some of these people are either going to cash out and get out of the space altogether, or those that have spent the last bear market, all the time in the bear market, educating themselves on the cryptocurrency space, what are they likely to do? Well, they're likely going to try and get the gains that they felt they should have had in the last bear cycle or the bull cycle. And a lot of other people that are familiar with how this stuff works are going to take those profits from their Bitcoin and everything else, and then they're going to start pumping the altcoin market. I'm telling you, it's coming. Look, people are saying what coins are going to be big, what coins are going to last. If you look at 2 years ago, the top 100 is completely different than what it is today, and so forth and so on. And that's true. It is. But you also have to understand that as the altcoin market has changed over time, the regulations have changed a lot of things and continue to change a lot of things. And I think the use case now, the speculation now isn't just about branding. It's not just about promise. It's about the technology. It's about use case. It's about transactions. It's about adoption. These are the things that people have wisened up enough to know and understand that these are going to be some of the key factors in where the money goes in this next altcoin rally. Here's the thing, folks. A lot of these Bitcoin maximalists out there shitting all over the altcoin market don't know what the hell they're talking about, in the sense that if you try to kill the altcoin market, you are therefore killing crypto. And I tell you that because a lot of people want you to believe that Bitcoin is the end all be all. It can solve all problems. Well, it can't. It can't. And in order to solve a lot of these problems, you're going to need the alternative technologies that have spawned from the blockchain technology Bitcoin established, and they're going to have to take that ball and run with it. And unless you have money going in and out of the altcoin market to drive up further speculation and interest and education, the crypto market's not going to do so well, people. So if you think that there isn't going to be an altcoin rally, if you think the altcoin market's going to go to zero, I'm here to tell you, I believe you're absolutely clueless. And if you're not clueless, then you have an ulterior motive. You have other reasons, likely because you want to see the Bitcoin that you're holding pump, 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 and that's all you really care about. And to that I say, you don't truly care about the technology. You care about the fact that you got in before most people, and you don't give a shit about other people doing well in the market, making money, generating profits, speculating on lower price coins. You only care about yourself and getting yourself a fucking yacht, or getting yourself whatever the hell it is, your Lambos or whatever. And so to me, when I see these people, the message is clear. You wear a veil as though you're trying to help and educate the public, but what you're really trying to do ultimately is suit and serve yourself. And so when I see that kind of shit, I immediately check out. And it's not any one person. There are groups of these Bitcoin maximalist types out there constantly pretending to be something that I truly believe they are not, all in an effort to try and make themselves more money because they were, I guess, would you say lucky? I wouldn't call it lucky. I was exposed to Bitcoin back in 2013. I didn't have enough foresight to really understand what it was all about or to even look into it. I should be a billionaire right now, but because, like many others out there, I just thought it was something else. I didn't get it. And there are a lot of people out there that bought in. And so because they, think about it, if I would have bought in at 2013 and I had thousands of Bitcoin, well, no, because I'm just wired the way I am. I was going to say, if I had all this Bitcoin, I would be like, Bitcoin's number one. Bitcoin, no, it's not. It's not that it's number one. Bitcoin is the gold standard. Bitcoin is going to help a lot of people. Bitcoin is creating a revolution, and I get it, and I'm all about it. And I love Bitcoin, obviously. I wish I had 1 million of them. But the reality for me is it's the altcoin market that's going to drive the new technology. It's the speculation in the altcoin market. Now, what I see happening is, in the last parabolic bull run, we saw a lot of speculation on ICOs. We saw a lot of 13, 14-year-old kids mining Ethereum and investing in ICOs and getting 10, 100, 50x returns on that investment really quickly and flipping that stuff, right? And then And they kept doing that until finally the market started to crash. Now we have regulations that are going to keep that from happening. So when you're looking at an altcoin like Ethereum, well, I don't think Ethereum is necessarily going to grow to the heights that we might expect when we say all-time high, because realistically, as it sits right now, Ethereum doesn't necessarily have the same use case that it did during the ICO rush. And so I think because of that, you had Bitcoin and Ethereum that were the primary gateways into the altcoin market. Well, that's different now, because what is the altcoin market? I don't see us having a huge ICO rush like we did before. We're going to have STOs. We may have IEOs, but in those, Bitcoin is likely going to play a pretty strong role because it's going to be more, you're going to be able to do a lot more with it, right? Ethereum may play a role, but it's not going to play the same role that it did in the last bull run, because you're not going to have millions of people, or however many people were just picking up some Ethereum and throwing it at an Ethereum wallet address to get some altcoins back. It's not going to work that way. Everything's going to be regulated. And everything that is regulated is likely not going to be available to most people in the United States. That, for me, kind of kills Ethereum's use case a bit. Now, that's not to say that Ethereum isn't working on its technology and furthering its use case potential. I think Ethereum's obviously going to do well in the next parabolic bull run. So is Bitcoin. But so are things like Cardano. And I think Cardano is you get a lot of FUD. You get people who maybe they're not holding Cardano. They're not holding some of the top projects that I think are going to do exceedingly well towards the end of 2019 into 2020. I think Neo's likely to do well, and Ontology's likely to do well. I think Icon, even though I don't personally at this moment hold Icon, I still think Icon is probably going to do well. Matrix AI, provided they keep on with their tech. Aeon. A lot of people are out there saying that all these altcoins are dead, and you can name any altcoin out there on the market right now and make a case that it's likely dead. This is the price action from all these coins all-time high. This is from worst to best. Nano is negative 95, almost 96% from its all-time high of 33.69. Right now it's trading at $1.38. But if you go and you look at these same tokens and you look at them on like CoinMarketCap or CoinPaprika, you see that they still have pretty consistent trade volume. But from there you want to go and you want to look at what's their on-chain statistics. What do these coins look like in terms of, how many wallets are being held? How many more wallets are growing every day on a particular blockchain? That could be a very strong indicator as to what projects are likely going to boom in the next parabolic bull run, because people are creating wallets and setting that stuff up and they're buying it now. And it's very likely that as the parabolic bull run begins again into the altcoin space, you're going to see a lot more of these actual blockchains doing well. Because I think what I've seen in a lot of the cross comparisons between old tech and new tech is it's actually blockchain currencies that tend to stand the test of time. And a lot of these altcoin projects with niche type use cases don't necessarily do as well short term. That's not to say that if you're holding long on some of these projects, provided they're making wise investments of their own, provided they're continuing to program, looking at the commits on GitHub of the different projects. XRP's only had 33. That's not a hell of a lot. Dogecoin still had 2. I mean, I think the fact that Dogecoin is still trading the way it is it's great, but it's hilarious. EOS, which is something a lot of people love to plug. I won't touch it. I don't hold it, but to each their own. 336 GitHub commits over the last 90 days. It's active. It's an active development team. Tron, 382. Let's see what has the most. Some of these. Holochain, 1,309 commits over the last 90 days. That's crazy. Up 271%. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. You can see who the most active development teams are. So you have to kind of look. Golem's at 375 commits. They're trading at 0.09 cents from an all-time high of $1.25. But the problem is, you can see the transactional volume is really low. Really low. Tron, 17 million in 24 hours. So you just cross-reference all these different signals, and at some point I will, and I'll probably come up with a top 10 list based on all the different metrics that I associate with what could potentially be a very profitable, booming cryptocurrency altcoin project in the next parabolic bull run. But these are resources that you can go and check out yourself and really start kind of figuring out, where is the market going? What tends to be growing? What's growing in terms of number of active addresses? Bitcoin, Dash, Litecoin, Dogecoin, Tron, EOS, Monero, Zcash, XRP, the top 20. Cardano's still in the top, it's top 15 in terms of the number of active wallet addresses. You can't argue that. These are the types of projects that people are creating wallets for and buying and sending currencies to these wallets. So I don't really think it's all that difficult to really get a strong idea as to what altcoins are likely to do the best. And then from there, I don't even look at, I expect these to do as well as their original all-time high. I expect a lot of these projects to far exceed their all-time high. What I think is going to be dictating that is ultimately how much more mass adoption, mass education, how many more eyeballs are we going to be able to get in to the cryptocurrency space to then invest in these projects and trade in these tokens and these coins. And on top of all of that, I think a big part of it is, what is the SEC going to have to say about a lot of this? Like when we talked to the SEC's FinHub division, we talked to a couple of these guys, and they basically made it sound like there are a lot of projects out there currently considered securities. We thought it was the opposite. We went into the conversation thinking that there were a lot of utility tokens that are going to be considered securities later. They made it sound like there are a lot of securities, a lot of tokens that are being considered securities now to them in terms of like guidance and so forth, that may very well not be considered securities in the future. My hope is that Cardano's one of them, to be quite frank. They didn't say this at all, so don't put words in my mouth there. But my guess is that's one of the things that's holding Cardano back, is that their proof of stake decentralization nature hasn't really launched yet. And until they do, they're not going to end up on CoinBase. But man, I'm telling you what, when proof of stake launches and their smart contracts launch, Cardano's going to start pumping, man. I'm telling you, I really believe Cardano's going to start pumping. And I know I've been bullish on Cardano since 2 months after I saw it launch, but I'm telling you, I think this is going to look top 15 to the top 10 in the market. Say what you want, Cardano's going to kick some ass is one of my number one picks. Let me take another quick look at chat. Man, a lot of people are coming into live. There must not be anything better to watch. Electronium, I really thought was going to be super, super bullish for mass adoption, but it just didn't seem to get its legs before the market started to fall. So I'm hoping that it does pick up. Ravencoin is more for asset creation and tracking, different basket. Yeah, that's kind of like Polymath. And there are others. Man, I cannot wait to make some of these announcements for what I have going on. It's going to be absolutely crazy. Yeah, Crow's Nest X is coming, folks. It's definitely coming, and it's going to come with a vengeance. A vengeance. I'll look at my Twitters. And Bozak. He's one of the most active Twitter dudes around, man. But he's starting to work out. He's hitting that gym. Doing his thing. All right. Take a quick look at Bizcoin. So yeah, I don't know. We just have to keep an eye on this and see what happens over the next couple weeks. And are we going to get a serious breakout of this? I see it happening. At this point, I was originally thinking, maybe we're going to see 8,500 again before. But and here's the thing, when you're trying to talk about market sentiment and what you expect to happen, you really have to pay attention to what people are looking into. What are people buying? What projects are people opening new addresses in? What are people preparing for? And it's difficult in some ways to try and gauge all of that. I really need to kind of sit down and put together an Excel sheet and work on this as a major product and come out with basically like a top 10 or top 20 list of projects that I think are going to be the most active and most receptive to the next parabolic bull run in the altcoin market. I do believe that we're going to start seeing more pumps in the altcoin space. But I'm guessing, honestly, because of the number of people that came in at the last parabolic bull run and kind of lost if they sold, I think that it's going to be more beneficial for them to invest in the projects that are more proven and well established than take risks on these random IEOs and things like that. There's obviously going to be a market for that, but I honestly expect to see more people going into what's already out there and what is basically, if there's a project that has lasted through the bear market and they still have a committed development team and things are still really moving forward, like Turnio. You know, I just had a great talk with Ian from Turnio recently, and he's like, look, man, you know, we're still here. We're still moving. We're still doing this. And he's had to make some big sacrifices to keep pushing forward. And I absolutely respect that. And it's that kind of commitment that tells me that this is a project that's going to stand the test of time. You know, I think that anybody willing to make sacrifices in their own personal life because of something they believe so strongly about, that to me deserves recognition. And I absolutely commend them for that. And, you know, talking to Ian, you know, I've had many conversations with him. And he just comes off as somebody who just legitimately is trying to create something that everybody is going to benefit from. And I love having talks like that, where I've contacted and tried talking to other people with other projects. And I've had some that are almost kind of argumentative. Like there's some project, I asked him a simple, when you hit exchanges, and it's kind of weird, like that, really weird. I'm not even going to say who it is, but it's just like people like that, just, I don't get it. I don't get it. It's almost like they're so fucking paranoid. I don't know what it is. But, you know, look, everybody has their own way. Hopefully everybody does well. But about 37 minutes in, hell, if I keep going, I might even hit 1,000 people. But I don't really have much else to say, and I've got a whole bunch of stuff to do today. So, yeah, check out those resources. And hold on. Chainwise, I want to make sure you guys know about Chainwise. Chainwise.us. Make sure you guys check it out. I may have closed it on myself. Oh yeah, and this is obvious. Check out DApp Radar as well if you want to get an idea as to what's popping as far as DApps. I cannot wait to. I will tell you guys this: when Cardano's proof of stake and smart contracts launch, expect me to be like the Trevon James of Cardano, because everything that happens on Cardano, I'm covering it from there. I don't care if I'm talking about it every day. I don't care if there's a new DApp that launches every day. I'm going to be covering Cardano like a madman once this stuff really starts kicking off. Because I believe I was one of the first people to really start talking about Cardano. Back in 2017. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I was. And, I remember when I first started talking about them, like their price shot up like real quick. I'm not saying I'm the cause of that either. I'm not trying to like fool anybody or fool myself, but I've been super bullish on Cardano since the beginning, and I know what they have coming, and I know it's going to be super powerful, and I can't wait to see what sort of dApps. I will be playing games on Cardano. I will be doing all kinds of stuff. Like I said, I'll become the Trevon James of Cardano, and we'll see who wins the race. Tron or Cardano or Ethereum. We'll see. So until next time, guys, thanks for joining me, and I will see you guys soon. Make sure you guys are following me on Twitter too, by the way. I really need some more Twitter followers. Man, every time I click on there, it's working out. They changed things. There it is. But yeah, make sure you guys follow me on Twitter. I've only got 10 and a half thousand followers. I need to get more than that. And help me help you. Make sure you guys are retweeting my Joe Rogan post. It's pinned to the top of my page. It'd be a huge help. Still trying to get on Joe Rogan. Still trying to get him to respond to an email. So I could be just fighting an uphill battle for the next year of my life. But let me tell you something, Joe Rogan. If you happen to see this message, know I've got a growing army of people. And they're coming for you, and they're coming for your people, and your booking agents, and your managers, and everybody that has anything to do with you. And it's going to be just a matter of time until I break your will, and I can talk about the fact that you have no neck in person in your studio. We shall see. Until next time, guys, grow your coins, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks for joining me.